Hello friends, this is Priyanka. Today we are going to solve a problem on isometric projection. So let us first understand what is the given orthographic projection. So if we observe here, the front view, top view and side view is given. So let us first decide what is the total length, total height and total width for this given isometric object. So if we observe here, the total length that is given in the front view 75 mm. What is the total height? So if we observe the height is given up to the center of the semicircle. So we have to add the radius of semicircle also. So it's 27 plus 15, that is equal to 42 mm. And what is the width? So for that we will move to the top view. So if we observe, there is the semicircular construction for the width. So what is the radius of that semicircle? So it is given that 15 mm. So we will take here diameter, that is 15 into 2, that is 30 mm is the width for that semicircular construction. So we will take here width is equal to 30 mm. So if we observe this scale, that is the dimension for this length, width and height are so small. So we will take here the scale 1:4, that is 1 millimeter in the orthographic projection is equal to 4 millimeter in the isometric projection. So if we observe, the front view is given on the right hand side. So we will plot here the front view is on the left hand side in the isometric projection. So how to plot? So for that we have to draw one basic horizontal line, and on that we will select one point. Now from that point we have to select the 3 points at 3 different angles. So I will keep here the protractor. Now the first point is from the right hand side of 30-degree angle, second point is from the left hand side of 30-degree angle, and here is the third point of 90-degree angle. So now we have to draw the lines passing through these 3 points. Now because of this vertical line, that is line passing through 90-degree angle, there are two sides. This is the right hand side and this is the left hand side. So because the front view in the orthographic projection is given in the right hand side, we have to plot the front view is on the left hand side. So what front view indicates? It indicates the true length and true height. So here on this line we have to plot the true length, and here we have to plot the height. So what is the length? So our scale is 1:4, that is 75 into 4, that is equal to 300 mm. And what is the height? That is 42 into 4, that is 168 mm. So how to take the dimension? So here 300 mm we have to take on this line, and we have to select one point. Now from this point take a vertical line parallel to this of the dimension 168 mm. Now on this line also we have to take the dimension of 168 mm, and now on the right hand side we have to plot the width. So what is the width? That is 30 into 4, that is 120 mm. We have to select here one point, and from that point we have to draw here one vertical line of 168 mm. Now these 3 points are getting selected, so we will join these points. Now from this point draw a parallel line to this, and we have to take the equal dimension of this line, that is equal to 300 mm, and we will select here the point, and we will complete this outline. So this is the outline for the isometric projection. So if we observe these 3 lines 1, 2, 3 are parallel to each other and indicates for the dimension of length. These 3 vertical lines 1, 2, 3 are parallel to each other and indicates for the dimension of height. And these 3 lines 1, 2, 3 are parallel to each other and indicates for the dimension of the width. Now we will observe the front view. So if we observe this front view, there is the construction at the base. So what is the height? Height is 11 mm, that is given. So these 3 lines 1, 2, 3 indicates for the height. So on that height we will select the dimension, that is with the scale 1:4, that is 11 into 4, that is 44 mm. So now we will select here the points that is at 44 mm. Now we will just join these 3 points. Now we have to join these points with the help of the projection line. So projection line should be faint. So for the faint lines we have to use the 2H lead pencil, and for the construction line that should be dark, and we have to use the H lead pencil in the examination. Now if we observe on the front view, there is the structure, that is the semicircle structure and the inside hole, and that can be clearly seen. So what front view indicates? Front view indicates the true length and true height. So if we want to plot this semicircular construction and this hole, we have to plot along this front view, because it can be clearly seen in the front view only. Now if we observe in the top view, so what is this? A construction along the width, so it is repeated 2 times. That is, what is the width for that? So it's a projection from top view to the side view is given, and the width is given, that is for 8 mm on both the sides. So along the width, the construction for that semicircle and that hole is repeated 2 times at these 2 corners along the width. And what is the width? That is 8 mm. So with the help of scale 1:4, we have to take here the 8 into 4. That is 32 mm. So I will select here the points at 32 mm from both the sides. So here also we have to select the point, because this construction is along the width. Now we will just join this point. So we have to join this with the help of the projection lines. So with the help of these faint lines, this is getting indicated. Now along this width, this construction is getting repeated. So let us first plot this semicircular structure as well as that hole. So how to plot? So for that we have to just select here one block. Along that block we will complete the construction of that semicircle. So for that we will require, what is the radius r for that semicircle? So it is given that radius r is 15 mm. So with the help of scale we can say that 15 into 4, that is equal to 60 mm. So in the compass we will take that distance 60 mm. So here is the 60 mm. So when we are going to complete the structure for that semicircle and hole, because this semicircle and hole is having the same center, so for that we have to first locate the center. So it is important to know how to locate the center. So now I will take here 15 mm, that is 15 into 4, that is 60 mm distance. So I will mark here one point, and here on the height line also I will mark here one point, that is at 60 mm. So why only on these lines? So this line indicates length and this line indicates the height. So this structure can be seen clearly in the front view, and in the front view we can see what is the true length and true height. So in this, these are the true lengths, that is true length and true height lines. So now from this line we will draw the parallel line. So for the location of center, so if we draw the parallel lines passing through these points, the intersection of these 2 lines will give us the location of center. So we have to draw the line in the form of dash and dot, which lines are passing through the center. So now I will draw here. So take the line parallel to this height passing through this line. So remember that line should be in the form of dash and dot. Here also draw the line in the form of dash and dot. Now if we observe, this is the point of intersection. Now it will give us that is the location of center. Now we will complete the structure of the block. So again we will take the distance equal to r, that is equal to 60 mm, and from that center on both the sides of these lines we will locate the point. So here is the point and here is the point. So from that point we have to again draw the line parallel to this height as well as length. So this is the block. Now if we observe, for this, here is the larger included angle and these are the smaller included angle. So we have to join this larger included angle with the opposite side middle point. So these two are the middle points. So I will join this. So if we observe, this is the point of intersection. Now again, if I join this smaller included angle, these are the point where the three lines are intersect at one point only. So now I will show this point. So these points are so much important. So here is the point and here is the point and this is also the point. So these are the three centers. But now remember that for the construction of semicircle, only we have to complete the upper half portion. So only these two centers we have to select. So now with the help of compass we can easily complete this. So how to complete? Take this center and from this center this is the line. So these are the two end lines from the center. So we have to join up to these two lines only. So for that, with the help of compass we can easily complete this part. So I will complete here. Now we will select this second center. So for the second center also we will take the distance in the compass and now we have to select we have to join these points. So with the help of compass we can take this distance. So in this way the semicircle is getting completed. Now if we observe, this semicircular structure is getting repeated because on this line also along this width it is getting repeated. So it is not possible to construct this structure again and again. So we will shift the centers. Now this structure is getting repeated along the width. So how to shift the centers? So this is the center on this front face. Now where is the location of the second line? So we will say that here is the gap of 8 millimeter. So 8 millimeter means we have to shift the center 8 millimeter along the width on the back side. So 8 into 4, that is we will say 32 millimeter. Now where is the location of this line? So if we observe again, we have to find out what is the distance of this first line up to this line. So if we observe, what is the total width? Total width is 30. So from 30, if we take here or subtract this 8 millimeter from this corner, then we will get the distance in between these two. So what is the distance? That is equal to 27. That is equal to 22 millimeter. So we have to shift the center 22 millimeter and again we have to shift this. So what is the here? That is 8 millimeter, then 22 millimeter and then 30 millimeter. So we have to shift the distance. Now our scale is 1:4. So here 1:4, that means here 32, then 88 and here is the 120. So we have to shift this. So now I will shift at a single time. So how to shift? Now we have to shift the centers along this width. So we will take the line parallel to the width. So parallel to the width we will take line and along that line only we will shift the centers. Now first is 32 millimeter. So first center will be here. Then second is 88 millimeter. Second center will be here and third is 120 millimeter. So here is the location of the center. So now I have marked here. So how to, we will show here with the help of the arrow also. So this is what we have shifted it. Now again we will shift the second center. So here is also the second center. Now again first is 32, then again it is 88, and again it is 120. So again we have to show with the help of arrow. So this is what we have shifted. Now how to complete it? So again with the help of compass we have to take the same distance. So for this first center, this is the distance for what we have to take. So again with the help of this we will mark here, or we will complete the some portion of that curvature. Now if we observe the hole, these are the concentric. So this hole and semicircle is having the same center. So we know that what is the location of center and the lines passing through it. So if we observe what is the radius of that hole, so here the diameter is given 15 millimeter. So 15 divided by 2, that is 7.5 millimeter. So with the help of scale, that is 7.5 into 4, that is 30 millimeter, we have to take the distance in the compass, and we have to mark that same distance on both sides of this line, that is the line passing through the center. So if we plot here the points, we have to draw the line parallel to this height as well as length. So this block is getting completed. Again we will follow the same procedure, that is we will join this larger included angle to the middle point of the opposite side. So this point of intersection will give us the center, and we will complete this hole. So again we will follow the same procedure, that means we will shift the centers of this hole on the backward side, because the structure of hole is also getting repeated on these faces along the width. So again we will take the distance, that is 8 millimeter, then 22 millimeter, and then 30 millimeter. So with the help of scale we will shift it, that is 8 into 4, that is 32 millimeter, then 22 into 4, that is 88 millimeter from this center, and again it is up to the 120 millimeter. So here with this new center, again we will take the same distance in the compass, and we will complete the hole. Now what happens to this side, that is this face, that is the semicircular structure, because here because of this front face the hole cannot be seen. So here no need to complete the hole, but here the gap is more, so we have to complete the hole, that is some part of hole is getting completed here. So here this hole is getting shown. Now because of the shifting centers, we will just with the help of compass we have to just complete the part of this hole. Now we will move for the next. So if we move from the front view to the top view, again there is the semicircular structure, and the part of semicircle is getting completed. So if we observe the part of that semicircle and the big semicircular structure is having the same center. So again we have to locate the center. So how to locate? So here R15 is given. So we have to take the distance in the compass, that is 15 into 4, that is equal to 60 millimeter, and we have to mark the points. Now from the top view, what are the true lengths? That is the width is the true length, and length is also the true length. That means total length and total width we can see clearly. So we will complete here. That means along the length line I will select here one point, and along the width line also I will select here one point. Now from this point I will draw the horizontal and vertical line that will be parallel to the length line and width line. And then if we observe here, the point of intersection will give us the location of the center. So how to complete it? So here is the location. Now we have to complete that box. So how to complete that? So again we have to take distance equal to r in the compass, and we will select the point on the both sides from the center. For that, the line. Now again we will draw the parallel lines that will be parallel to the length and width. So how to complete it? So from this point, draw here one parallel line, and here also we have to draw one parallel line. So this block is getting completed. So here is the larger included angle. So again we will follow the same procedure, that join this larger included angle to the opposite side middle point. So it is getting completed. So this is the center. Now remember that only half portion of semicircle is getting completed. So with the help of compass we will take here or join here. So what is the center here? So this is also the center and this is also the center. So take the distance. So these are the two extreme sides from this center. So take the distance equal to this, and with the help of compass we will join in this way. Now this is the second center. So again we have to take the distance that is equal to this radius r, and again we have to complete it. So this is the semicircle that is getting completed. Now again inside it there is the semicircle with same center. So what is the r is given? So there vertical distance, that is distance along the diameter, is given, that is 12 millimeter. So what is the radius r? So r is equal to 6 millimeter. So what distance we have to take in the compass? So 6 into 4, that is our scale is 1:4, that is equal to 24 millimeter. We have to take the distance in the compass, and we have to take this distance or mark the points on both sides of the center. So here we will mark the point on the both side of the center, and now we will draw the line passing through those points. So here I will So if we observe again, here is the block. So now again these are the larger included angle. So join this larger included angle to the opposite side middle point, and if we observe we will get here these are the centers. Now with the help of this center, so only semicircle is there, means what? We have to complete only half portion. That means half portion after this side only. So we have to just join only this part. So again for this correct shape, with the help of compass we will take this distance and we will complete it. So with this there are two centers. So with the help of these two centers we have to complete. So this is the second center. So now I have marked here. So this is the shape that is getting completed. Now if we observe the other side, there is the semicircle but in the opposite direction, and the distance in between those centers is 15 millimeter. So we have to extend the edges of this semicircle for this 15, that is 15 into 4, 60 millimeter. Here the edges is getting extended. In the same way there are total 3 centers, that is this is the first center, this is middle center, and this is the third center. So all the 3 centers we have to shift on the backward side for 15 millimeter, that is 15 into 4, 60 millimeter. Now how to complete this semicircle? So here is the middle center, for which the distance in the compass we have to take equal to radius r of that semicircle we have to take, and we have to complete this opposite side, because with this distance we have completed this side, that is this is the downward side, but in the this is semicircle is in the opposite direction, so we have to complete the opposite side semicircle with this distance, and for the remaining distance we have to take this other, that is on opposite side center, and we have to take that distance and we will complete here the remaining part. So this semicircle is getting completed. So now we will highlight the edges. So here the distance in between those we have to take with the help of the dark marker. Now in the same way, because of this semicircle, this structure is getting repeated at this bottom face. So we have to again shift these centers for that big semicircle. So this is the center that we have to shift. So how to shift? Because the structure of semicircular shape is getting repeated along the height, and height is given, that is 11 millimeter. So we have to shift this 11 millimeter in the downward direction. So 11 into 4, that is equal to 44 millimeter. So here is the height. So we have to take the line parallel and we have to shift it, and this is the second center. So again we have to take here and we will shift it. So here is the arrow. So now because of these two centers we have to take the distance in the compass and we have to complete the remaining portion. So this portion is getting completed. Now we will highlight the structure. So if we observe, there is the front view up to this portion, we have to complete it, and here also we have to complete this structure. Now here, this what is the height? This from base it is given, the height is 27 millimeter. So now this corner and this end of that semicircle we have to join. So we have to join with the help of straight line. So in the same way we have to join. So how to join? So first we will select what are the end points of that semicircle that are getting repeated. So for that we have to take the line parallel to the width, and again, so this is the end point, this is the end point, and this is the end point. So now for this end point we will draw here one line passing through this corner, and that should be parallel to the width. So this is the line. So these are the projection lines. So we have to show it by the faint lines, and here is also the line. So now how to complete it? So we will take here the line parallel to it. So in this way the structure is getting completed. So now we have to join this structure. Now again these two ends we have to complete. Now most important part is that how to highlight this structure. So here it is getting Now most important part is that we have to give the dimensions. So now we will give the dimensions. So here this is the width. So along the width we have to take the line parallel to it. And now for this width line we will take here, we will complete this. And now what is the width? That is 30 millimeter. Now we will plot here the what is the distance in between center. So along this direction only we have to mark here the lines. And now for this length line we will take here, and now what is the distance in between the centers for that semicircle? That is, it is 15 millimeter. So we have to show this. Now in the same way we have to show what is the distance in between this. So along the width line here the distance we have to show. So how to show? So it is along the width line, but it is along the length. So we have to take the lines parallel to the length. And now we will select here the line width parallel to width, and we will take here. So what is the distance? That is, it is 8 millimeter. So in this way this dimension is shown. So we have to show the same dimension along the height. So here we have to select that. Now height is having the vertical line. So we have to draw the vertical line, and what is the height, that is 11 millimeter for this base structure. So in this way these dimensions are getting completed, and this is the isometric view for the given orthographic projection.